Am I the a-hole for not making my girlfriend feel included in family emergency? Using a throwaway because my girlfriend knows my main account. Yesterday, just before lunch, my mom texted me and told me that my grandfather had been taken to the hospital. This morning, I found out he's going to be okay. He fell and had a mini stroke. They're monitoring, but he'll probably be released in a few days. Anyway, my girlfriend and I both work from home. Every day at lunch we call each other and go for a walk around our respective neighborhoods. When she called, I told her what happened, and all that I knew was that he was in the hospital. Didn't know much more than that. I was obviously upset because I didn't know how serious it was. After me telling her and asking if that's all I knew, her response kind of caught me off guard. She didn't ask if I was okay, or how I was feeling. Her main concern was that nobody from my family texted her to let her know. We've been seeing each other for about a year and a half, and I know she struggled quite a bit with trauma from her childhood. My family have been very welcoming of her, and have had a good relationship with her. I reassured her that nobody is angry with her, they just texted me because they're at the hospital and don't really have much time. I know she struggles a lot with abandonment and feeling rejected. I felt like as much I support her through her struggles, the moment I needed support from her, it's still all about her feelings. But then I feel selfish for feeling that because I know how upset she was for feeling left out. After work, she came over to my place and I cooked dinner for us. She was still upset about not being told about my grandfather. So she asked me to text my mom to say to keep us posted. I guess because I was both physically and emotionally exhausted from all of this, I texted keep me posted instead of us. Now she's very angry at me because I didn't include her in the text, and she's angry that it now looks like she doesn't care about my grandfather. I know my family knows she cares, but she seems more concerned about the optics of her concern than actually being concerned about my grandfather. I guess I'm just feeling confused about the whole thing. The reason I might be the a-hole is because I didn't include her in the text to keep us posted, and it further makes her seem like she doesn't care about my grandfather. Also, I might be selfish in feeling angry that I've been there for her, and can't count on her for support. Edit, to clarify, we don't live in the same city as my family. We live about 2.5 hours away. NTA, she's making your grandfather's emergency all about her. This is insane behavior. It's so self-centered. This is a pretty big red flag, you should treat it as such. Expecting your family to think about texting some girlfriend, even if they love her, about an ongoing family medical emergency is so egotistical I can't even convey my disgust in this post. You don't live together, you aren't engaged, she is way out of line. NTA. She was still upset about not being told about my grandfather. She was told, you told her. Giving you crap for keep me posted versus keep us posted? She sounds fatiguing. You are totally right about optics. She talks as if this is about her concern for your grandfather, but those concerns should surely be met by your being informed and keeping her in the loop. She's focused on displaying her concern to your family. Ugh. Next story. Am I the a-hole for showing my kids the bills? My 48F friend, 45F, have kids around the same age, 2 teenagers each. Last time I spoke to her, it was before a party we were both going to that she said her daughter was probably going to make her late to because she was taking a long time in the shower. I told her that my kids used to take showers too, until we started showing them the water bill and, at least one of them, started taking shorter showers so it wouldn't cost as much. Personally, I don't see showing them as a bad thing because sometimes they do need to see how much they're costing us as parents. My friend responded that I was making them anxious. I thought that was a bit of a leap, as I talk about a lot about how much their clothes/food/other wants cost openly. And me and my husband make a pretty good living too. So we started debating about it for a bit until we dropped it. This has been lingering on my mind for a bit, so posting to see if I'm the a-hole. NTA. Kids need to learn the value of money. They need to learn how to budget. They need to become self-sufficient adults. But they also need love and kindness, so as long as your delivery was kind and to educate, you're all good. I'm not sure TBH, as a kid, you might feel like a burden to your parents, so seeing the bill might have worsened their self-esteem, but it can also teach them the value of money. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not welcoming my brother-in-law's new GF into my life? For context, my sister recently, 4 months ago, left her husband, my brother-in-law, after years of his alcoholism and cheating. My husband has been friends with Bill for years, they only met through my sister and I. My husband has stayed friends with him, though only just, because neither of us approve of how he is handling the separation. Bill has spent months being nasty to my sister and making each step harder than it needed to be. I have not spoken to Bill or spent any time with him since, other than twice when I saw him around town. I was polite and said hi. As expected, both my sister and Bill have started dating other people. He now has a new GF of 1 month. Yesterday he asked if he could bring the new girlfriend to our house so we can get to know each other, etc. I said no. He accused me of being unreasonable and immature. I find the request utterly obnoxious, to tell you the truth. Do people really think that is normal, to treat my sister poorly, to be separated, and then still want to be part of my family? Does that make me the a-hole here? He has only been dating the new person for a month. Am I expected to meet every new girlfriend? NTA, and honestly I'm grossed out by your husband's handling of this. Why is he still friends with this cheater who is also legitimately and actively being awful to your sister, his in-law and family? NTA, I find it disconcerting your husband is still that close to your Bill though. The man cheated on your sister, what sounds like multiple times, and he's an alcoholic. That's not the kind of person I would want around, even more so given your sister was the one who suffered under it. You don't need to remain connected to your ex Bill. You certainly don't need to invite him into your house. Since you're not longer in his social circle, there's no reason you'd need to meet his new girlfriend. Next story. Am I the a-hole for staying in a disabled spot, or was grandma overreacting? I'm 25M, disabled, and I have a valid disabled parking permit. I drive an older BMW, a nice one, emo. After my physiotherapy, I walked back to my car, parked in a disabled parking spot. I got in and spent a few minutes on my phone before heading home. Just taking a short breath, I always do that after physio. The parking lot was nearly empty. Next to me were 3 regular open spots, and across from me there was another empty disabled spot with 2 free spaces beside it. And it's a free parking area, by the way. Then a woman, some here mid-60s, drives up. She stares at me for a few seconds, then parks her car half almost crisscross across the disabled spot opposite me. She gets out, walks straight up to my window, and says, "Why are you taking up a disabled spot? You've been sitting here playing games for 15 minutes, and I want to park here." Honestly, I was a bit surprised. So I said, "I'm allowed to park here. I was just doing something on my phone and was about to leave." Before I could even finish my sentence, she cuts me off. "You don't need to justify yourself." Yet she keeps going, telling me it's rude of me to sit there and that I should move over because she can't park her car anywhere else, because it's too long. She came a bit rude. I tried to stay polite, but I could feel the frustration creeping in. This kind of thing happens sometimes though. Someone sees a young guy in a car and immediately assumes he's abusing a disabled spot. No one sees why that blue card is there in the first place. Eventually, she walked away mid-sentence. And I was a bit confused. I wasn't blocking anyone, I had a valid permit, and I was planning to leave. So was I really being rude, or was she just frustrated? Edit, I think I stood there for 5, maybe 6 minutes. No longer. As for my disability, I have Friedreich ataxia. I currently walk with a walking stick, am a bit wobbly when standing, everything costs energy and my voice is a little distorted. It doesn't get any better. When I sit I look completely normal. Not for pity, just understanding. NTA. My dad had prosthetic legs below the knee. You couldn't tell he had prosthetics if he was wearing pants. Even with shorts on it was tough to notice right away between the suspension sleeves, and he had really good skins on his prosthetics. He always used this line when someone confronted him about parking in a disabled spot: "Not all disabilities are visible." I had no idea what your disability was until you opened your mouth. NTA. It's better to handle your business on the phone before driving than doing it while you drive, lol. Ma here overreacted and probably was upset someone took her regular spot is all. You did nothing wrong. Next time she comes to talk to you, honk every time she speaks. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not telling my mom my friend's name and blocking her after she called 50+ times? I, 21F, live on campus, and have an agreement with my mom, 53F, that I'll tell her where and when I'm going if I'm going out, which is kind of obsolete since she has my location anyways. A month ago, I told her I was going to hang out with a friend, 21F. She kept prying for where I was going, how long I'd be out, how many people would come with, and how safe the area would be. I willingly gave her the information so that I could just get to where I needed to be. Until she asked for my friend's name. I always hate that she assigns biases against my friends based on what race she thinks their name is. I've always blatantly refused giving out names and explained that I don't like when she makes assumptions of my friends. I shut her down when she asked for my friend's name, and she called me 50+ times. She said she needed the name for safety reasons in case I went missing. I told her that didn't make sense since I had my phone and she already knew where I was. I texted that I was busy, because I had arrived and wanted to enjoy myself, and would call her later. She ignored this and continued calling me, so I blocked her. I did not call her back after the event because I was too angry that she disrespected my no and attempt to set a boundary. She has been ignoring me since for the past month. I came home yesterday for a medical appointment, and the silent treatment has become more obvious. She does not speak to me directly, and asks my dad to text me like asking if I'm hungry and letting me know she's left food on the table. She ignored my birthday a few days ago, but left a birthday gift in my room. She's been ignoring my texts otherwise, and I continue to act normally despite her silence. I overheard her calling my dad that she wants me to apologize first. I get that she worries, but this feels more about control than concern. I didn't feel comfortable giving her my friend's name, and I didn't like being called over 50 times after I said no. Am I the a-hole for refusing to tell her my friend's name and blocking her? NTA. Let her be mad. If she's leaving you alone and not, basically, stalking you, it's a win-win for you. Let her pout and throw a tantrum, you're 21 for God's sake. NTA. Next story. Am I the a-hole for asking my girlfriend's brother what kind of a man he is? My 34M girlfriend Laura, 30F, and I got into a huge argument because of something I said to her younger brother Randall, 22M. For context, Randall lives with their sister Anna, 29F. Anna had a big grocery haul today and her van recently kicked the bucket, so Laura and I offered to take her. We drove her to the store, helped with the shopping, and loaded everything into my car. On the drive back, Randall texted Anna asking if she could pick them up some takeout on him. Anna agreed, so we made an extra stop to get their food. The plan was, when we got to their apartment building, Randall would come down to the lobby to help us bring up all the groceries and his takeout. This was agreed upon when we went to get the takeout because the parking is a pain and it's a lot to carry alone. We pull up, text him, then call him. No answer. We call again. Nothing. We parked the car properly, which meant Anna, Laura, and I had to make multiple trips from the parking lot to the lobby and then up to the apartment, lugging all the groceries and the takeout. I'm the first to get to the door with my hands full with a box and 2 bags. I'm able to knock and he unlocks the deadbolt without opening the door. This really pissed me off. I opened the door for all of us and set the box and bags down. I then asked him what happened and he just shrugged and said, "Oh, my phone was on silent, sorry." This is the second time he's pulled this exact same crap. Last time, I gave him a sarcastic response about it, like how convenient that you couldn't hear the phone glued to your hand when he gave us the same lame excuse. But this time, I was fed up. I was tired from carrying everything, and I was annoyed for Anna and Laura, who just accept this from him. I looked at him and said, "Seriously, Randall? What kind of man sits on his arse while his sister and everyone else carries his responsibilities for him?" Randall didn't say anything and just left the room. Laura immediately shot me a death glare. After we left the apartment and were back in the car, she laid into me. She said I out of line, that it wasn't my place to talk to her brother like that, and that my comment was toxic and emasculating. We argued the whole way home. I told her that she and her family coddle him too much and that he's never going to learn if no one holds him accountable. When we got home and we'd both cooled down a bit, I explained my side more calmly. I said that what he did was deeply disrespectful, to her, Anna who houses him, and to me. He knew we would end up doing the work if he ignored his phone, and he made that choice because he's lazy and there are never any consequences. Laura was able to see my point of view in this one. At least that's what she tells me. I started thinking though, am I the a-hole here? Was I an a-hole for saying what I said, or was it a justified call-out for his disrespectful behavior? Had it been me, Randall's takeout would have been left sitting in the car. And sitting. And sitting. And sitting. He's so coddled he didn't even bother to open the door? Wow. It would be the last time I did him a favor. Well done for telling him off, NTA. I hope you guys like this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel our posts.